Hello there guys, this is Solid Shepard bringing you another video, and today we have a new series. I decided to try a new series here, and we are calling it Console Peasants Say. And before you ask, yes, I did get the idea from the likes of Top Hats and Champagne and Rags and Fratanga and Bulletberry. I really enjoy watching those kind of videos, and I really enjoy debating people about this kind of stuff, like on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. So, you know what? I figure why not? Let's go ahead and give it a try. I think this should be fun. So, very first, we're gonna set some things. Anybody who I don't know who they are, like if I'm pretty sure that they're, well, if I don't know for a fact that they have a presence on the internet, basically. And they're just some random person on Facebook or Twitter, I am going to basically scratch out or white out, whatever you want to call it, their name, because I don't want people searching and attacking them. And I do ask that even the people that I do show, like the known YouTubers in this series that I might bring up, don't go and attack them and stuff. If you want to go there, the comment section and try and actually have an intellectual debate, that's one thing. But don't go and attack and troll them and stuff, please. I ask you, don't do that. Anyways. And then obviously, if people have... The people who are just not YouTubers, don't have a social media presence. Which basically means, like, if you take a social media presence, and especially if you're using your own personal name and your own personal picture, then you're accepting, the way I see it, you're accepting the possibility of people critiquing what you are saying on like an open platform, an open forum, which is like Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, any of those. So that being said, I will be whiting out people's did I already say this? I don't know if I didn't already say this. I'll also be whiting out people's pictures who are just normal people who are using their real life visage and not like an avatar. So that's kind of the rules we're going to be going with here. And real quick, I just wanted to bring this up right here. I'm sure anybody who is watching this, who might have found this video, who's not just a normal subscriber, has already watched some Rags videos or some Fratanga videos or, Bulletberry or Tops Hats, and already knows who JTechTV is. So, but I've never actually, had any real interaction with JTech. So I found it really interesting because I really wanted to look up some quotes from him. At least one, to include in this video. But I couldn't see it because, as you can see right here, he blocked me. He's blocked me, and I've never had any interactions with him. So that just goes to show you what kind of person JTech is. It's the kind of person that we're dealing with here. So that's JTechTV right there. The PlayStation fanboy, anti-consumer, anti-gamer extraordinaire himself. So first we're going to go on Facebook, and these basically come from a group I'm a part of, as you can see there. I'm not afraid to put the group there. I'm just not going to have people's names. It's called PC Gamers, but there's a lot of like console fanboys, ironically enough, inside the group. Anyways, this one's not really... So also, this one's not going to just be console peasants. It's just console peasant is kind of the people who usually say stupid stuff on the internet, but they're not the only ones. So this first one is not console at all. It's actually someone asking, what is a good gaming laptop brand? And I see this a lot in this group. Like, you'll see a lot of people. I almost think that the narrative that PC gaming is expensive is because people look at laptops and they assume since laptops are smaller that they will actually be less expensive than the PC variants. It's actually the exact opposite. Laptops tend, a lot of times, they're almost like, if you take a laptop and a desktop, but basically the same performance, the same power and all that, same specs, the laptop tends to almost be twice as much a lot of times. Definitely more expensive. If not twice, they're definitely more expensive than a desktop variant. So I would never basically suggest that someone go and get a laptop unless, we'll get into this later, unless you travel a lot. Like that's the only way I would really suggest a laptop. Otherwise, desktop's the way to go. It's much cheaper. So I just find that interesting in the group. So I just kind of wanted to find this right here and basically show as an example while I talk about it, basically. Okay, so we go to this next one here. That godlike feeling when you're playing PS4 exclusive games, knowing PC gamers don't have them. Now, this is about one of the most anti-gamer sentiments you can have, and I notice mostly only the PlayStation fanboys seem to have this this frame of mind. And that's because most of the time PC gamers are in the mind, we're all gamers. We want gamers to be able to play games, and the Xbox doesn't really have any exclusives because all the games that are really on Xbox are also available on PC. So not all PlayStation fans, mind you, just the peasants. And I do wanna address this. There is a difference between someone who just plays on PlayStation, or someone who plays on Xbox, or someone who plays on Nintendo, and a fanboy, or a peasant. A peasant is someone who peddles misinformation. They are someone who lies, and they are someone who is a corporate shill, anti-gamer, anti-consumer, all of that above. They're just slaves of a corporation, corporate slaves. They defend a box to the death. Whereas people who just happen to play on a console, just console gamers, do not do that. They understand that PC is superior. Okay, they're Xbox fans who understand that Sony, whether it's moral or not from Sony's side, which is not, it's just a holding games hostage from other gamers, but they do understand there is at least a benefit because you can play games like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Uncharted 4, games like that, The Last of Us. But they just prefer playing on Xbox. They're PlayStation fans that understand PC is the superior platform, PlayStation and Xbox fans. But they just happen to still just prefer playing on PlayStation. Those are normal console gamers. When someone says a console peasant, they are someone who, like I said before, lies, is dishonest, pushes misinformation, just corporate slaves, all the above, all that stuff, all that good stuff. That's what a peasant is. And, PC elitists are technically, it's a different word, but they're technically peasants too, because the people who basically practice the same stuff that I just said, but for PC instead of console. And in this series, I may, bring some people up like that. I won't be afraid to stay away from any PC person who exhibits the same. It's just they're further, far and few between than the console peasants. They're not as common, but they do exist. And before anyone says anything, anytime anyone's like, "Oh, I'm, PC master race," it's usually a tongue-in-cheek thing, or usually not being serious. Okay. So yeah, basically this guy's anti-consumer. He is happy. He is ecstatic. This person ecstatic that other people can't play these games, which I just don't agree with. I have bought my first legal game and left Piracy after 8 years. Am I welcomed here? In my opinion, no, you are not. Piracy. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, so people who, let's say, use emulators, as long as they actually bought the original game and they gave that company that money, I don't have a problem with that. Using the emulators and the ROMs. If someone tries games, right? Like they want to try it because there's no demo for it, and they want to pirate it to try it, and then if they don't like it, they just uninstall it, and if they do like it, they end up actually buying it. That's okay in my book. But this guy said he's been pirating for 8 years, almost a decade, and he's just now finally bought a game for the first time ever. That is not okay. And I'm telling you, I am a PC gamer, and I do not condone pirating. Now, like I said, there's some exceptions where I could see someone's argument. I still wouldn't support it, but I can see someone's argument. But this is not one. This is just straight up stealing games. Okay, so here we go again with the laptop stuff. Best gaming laptop brand. And this guy using an avatar of Jon Snow, funnily enough. Lists them here, and then I whited myself out because I am using, this is my personal Facebook. But I say, do you travel a lot? And he said, not really. Then why are you wasting money on a laptop? They are almost twice as expensive as a desktop with the same specs. Also, you can't easily upgrade a laptop like a desktop. And this is true. So not only are desktops more expensive, but you can't really upgrade them. If you want to upgrade it down the line, you have to buy a whole nother laptop or finally invest in a desktop. And I say invest, but buying a desktop would be cheaper unless you're just trying to get all the most cutting edge stuff, which you really don't need to do, which is another misconception that a lot of console peasants try to push about PC gaming. You don't need all the best stuff. Only people who do that are like hardcore enthusiasts. You don't have to. I mean, a lot of people can still play at 1080, 60 plus frames per second, you know, high settings, like with a 970, like a GTX 970. So you don't need a 1080 Ti in order to get really good performance on a gaming PC. You really don't. So yeah, there's that. I do want to address, later he did comment, I don't have it here, the screenshot here, but later he did comment that, in his country, apparently, like, they have certain times that they can have even their electricity on. So it's just better for him to have a laptop, so, like, when the power goes out, he can still game with a laptop, and then also, like, you know, he doesn't have to worry about getting a surge protector or anything when the power goes out if he hasn't turned his computer off yet. So he's a special case, but there are people in this group that I've seen, and a lot of people who that's not the case, and they're just wanting a laptop because I think it's cool, I guess, because I don't know, like a culture thing, but that's just stupid, you know. It's not good consumer practices. But for him, it makes sense. Okay, so here we go. They say PC is the master race of gaming, but there's a direct correlation in these, and then I marked out all the tags. Oh, we're on Twitter now, by the way. I marked out all the tags here because I wasn't sure if this one was just a tournament name or if it was somebody, so I whited it out. But a direct correlation in these blank sub-tourneys that say PC players are getting bodied by us console boys. And then this guy said, I'll bite and say take off aim assist and then talk, LOL. Why would we take off, you know, that's a really good point, by the way. Why would we take off aim assist? We are playing with two little sticks, and that's kind of his point. That's the point he was making, by the way. PC guys get so mad at aim assist, like developers put it in the game as a way to cheat, LOL. It is, because without aim assist, yeah, console gamers can't compete, and that's his point. But with aim assist, they almost actually have an advantage. You know, because PC gamers, yes, it's easy to aim with a mouse, but you're hitting what you're pointing at. There's no assist going on there. It's all you. Kid already lost the argument by bringing up aim assist, LOL. Imagine there are still people who think pointing and clicking with old swipers harder than the sticks. Well, it is without aim assist, but with aim assist, if you're someone who's really good at the game, it is kind of cheat mode. The players that aren't good will always make excuses, LOL. Once again, the game giving you an assist with your aiming isn't an excuse, especially if you're someone who's very proficient with the quote-unquote sticks, right? With aim assist, will demolish a PC gamer unless they're like, you know, an elite PC, like first-person shooter themselves. So he's got a point. Look, I don't care how many facts and stats the PC Master Race has on their side. The older I get, the more appealing console gaming seems. Or maybe it's that I've been working a job on a computer the past year that makes me not want to ever touch a computer in my free time. And then, as you can see right there, I just said, just hook up the PC up to your TV, plug in an Xbox controller, and go into Steam Big Picture mode. Bam, gaming on your couch. Basically identical to what the experience you can get with a console. And this other guy says too much shit you gotta fuck with on PC. The console just works. Well, sometimes, except for like the Red Ring of Death was a thing, and like you gotta actually install games on PlayStation now. Like even if you buy physicals, you still have installations to go. It's not like it's just plug and play like it used to be. I'm sorry, your opinion is wrong. He's got a point. It really is. I mean, he can still play on console if he just really wants to. I just personally feel like if that's his only reason, it's kind of a waste of money. He's wasting his money. According to analysis, Xbox One X can go as high as full fat 4K, and PS4 Pro is a skinny, starving 2816 by 1584. Hashtag Battlefield 1. The problem with that, the big problem with that is he's considering 3840 full fat 4K. Now, technically, it is 4K, right? It is 4K, but it is like the bare minimum you need to be considered 4K, like right there on the bottom fringe of it. So to call it full fat 4K is a lie. Okay, so then here we go. Unplayable on PS Pro. That's how stupid PlayStation fans sound when X1 games were 900p, 720p. Enjoy the show on the other foot. Okay, so Xbox fans, I seem to remember you saying graphics weren't everything at one point. And console fans in general, when you're talking to PC, you say, oh, well, the games matter. Graphics don't matter until they do, until you feel like you have an edge. And notice I say feel like. Until you feel like you have an edge, suddenly it matters. Yep, enjoy that unplayable version now, folks. It's going to be a long road ahead, and I'm here to remind them every single day. Imagine being such a fanboy that you feel like you have to be here to remind another gamer every day to try and put them down because you feel like you're shafting them, or your box is shafting their box, and that brings you joy. Imagine that kind of frame of mind. Love it and well deserved. They did this to themselves. No, PlayStation and Xbox did it. And once again, you can go back a few years. These same people right here were saying graphics didn't matter. So I don't even know what the point they're trying to make here is, unless graphics do matter now. So PC is hashtag master race. I don't know. I don't know what they're getting at here. Microsoft lost the NPD. I'll be honest, I don't know what NPD is. I probably should have looked that up. Xbox Live goes down. Sea of Piss and State of Decay 2 not on any top 10 sales list. Okay. It's because they're bad games. SpiderMan releasing on PS4 only in September. I don't see why that's a good thing. Why is it a good thing that only a quarter of the market? I know that's not legit because there's less Xbox fans than PlayStation fans. I'm not sure about the Nintendo fan base, but then PC is actually like bigger than both Xbox and PlayStation. So like as far as like people who have Steam accounts and stuff and game on PC. So I'm kind of just talking about like because there's 4 consoles a quarter. So it's not actually scientific data there. So just want to point that out. But yeah, I don't see why like a quarter of the, let's say like the consoles that are on the market, only a quarter of it will be able to play this game that you think is so great. Why is this a good thing? In Battlefield X patch is only fake 4K checkerboard and drops to 40 FPS. Lol, lol, lol. Well, 40 is still 10 over 30, which you console gamers seem to think 30 is fine. And you seem to all think that not all, but the peasants seem to think that, hashtag fallbox. Okay. So, yeah, so you seem to think 40 FPS is bad? No. I don't understand. I don't know if this is a PlayStation fanboy or a PC elitist. It's probably the PlayStation one because he mentioned the SpiderMan only releasing on PS4. Yeah, and guess what? The Battlefield 4K checkerboard, fake checkerboard, that's all the PlayStation 4 Pro can do. which is still pretty good for a console, don't get me wrong. And if you like playing on PlayStation, you have more than reason to be happy with it. But to point that out against the Xbox, it's the same thing that you have, and 40 is still apparently over 30, which apparently the human eye can't see over 30 FPS according to a lot of these console peasants, which is not true, by the way. So yeah, that's about debunked as all hell. There's an insane amount of Spider-Man news out today. Literally everything I go, literally everything I go, it's there. Grammar. Media pushing hard. Yet yesterday, cursed sales info was hard to come by, or game was past new back compat. Once again, English. Okay, so probably the reason why Spider-Man was being quote-unquote pushed is because it's a highly anticipated title. In fact, it was like, I think it took the biggest chunk of Sony's E3 this year. So there's a reason for that. It's an anticipated game. Cursed sales? I think that's the pirate game that's running on the engine that Assassin's Creed Black Flag's ship combat was based on. That's not anticipated. It looks like it'll be fun, but it's not really anticipated. Let's not kid ourselves. There's a reason why. Spider-Man is like the next big game coming out. That's why. It's got nothing to do with media bias for Sony and against Microsoft. It's got nothing to do with it. That's a fanboy frame of mind right there. It's like, woe is me. Anything that doesn't go my way is evidence that people are out to get me. You know, like, no, it's because it's an anticipated game. That's why. Okay, then we got Colt Eastwood here. Everyone should know who Colt Eastwood is, so I didn't white out his thing here. God of War will be an awesome 6 to 8 hours, but I'll be online for 100 hours blowing down buildings with friends in Crackdown 3. Okay, first of all, the main story of God of War, I think, probably might be 6 to 8 hours. Of course, that depends on how fast you blow through it, but there's also a lot of side quests, a lot of harpies you can kill and stuff. Like, there's other stuff to do other than the main quest. Like, you can get a good 12 or 13 hours out of the game, which is about above average for a single-player game. I mean, that's not like, you know, a true, quote-unquote true, open-world RPG like The Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, or stuff like that, where there's just constantly new side quests and Radiant quests and stuff going on. Or an MMO. Of course, those games, you know, you can put hundreds of hours in. But your average, just quote-unquote non-ending RPG type game, you're going to get about, and non-MMO, you're going to get about 12, 13 hours in it. So, yeah, once again, sorry, Colt Eastwood, but you're wrong. And as Donald Trump would say, wrong. Sorry, I had to. Yeah, so I don't, Colt Eastwood, I don't understand what the hell you're getting at right here, but, and Crackdown 3? Does anyone really care about Crackdown 3? Isn't that the game that's been delayed like 200,000 times? It's supposed to come out like a few years ago. Okay, and that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I really do plan on doing more of this in the future because this is rather fun. Anyways, guys, and you know, of course, I want to do some response videos that aren't always just to gaming articles or videos. So, changing it up a little bit. This was fun. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please note that I wasn't trying to target anyone who was watching this video. I mean, if the shoe fits, like if anything I said bothers you, then you might want to ask yourself why it bothers you. Because I have no problem if you play on consoles. I have no problem if you play on Xbox or PlayStation. As long as you know the facts, but even knowing those facts, you're like, I still personally prefer to play there. I have no problem with you. It's just the people pushing misinformation that, you know, get some issues. You know, and like I said, that counts for PC elitists too, who just think they're better people just because they have better hardware. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. As always, this has been Solid Shepard. Until next time, I should go.